Hey guys, what's up? So today I wanted to talk to you about something called dysgraphia. I actually have dysgraphia. And it's something that not a lot of people know about. First, I want to start off by apologizing to everyone for not getting the mason jar video out. My camera is not reading my SD card for some reason, so working on getting that fixed. Probably just need to get a new SD card, unfortunately. And it broke. So first off, let's start off with the definition of dysgraphia. I actually made like notes and everything, so it is the inability to write coherently as a symptom of brain disease or damage. So for me, we really don't know if it's brain disease or damage. I just literally had like all the symptoms. And my mom noticed it, and my teachers noticed it, and I did some testing, and yeah, anyways, I passed the test. Super dysgraphic. So there is no cure and no medication to aid this. And the reason I not only know this from research, but also from personal experience, I was sent to a neurologist. And while we were there, my mom was like, so can you do surgery or something to fix her? And she was like, no, it's just kind of the brain doesn't make the right connections, you know? So anyways, but there are things that you can do to help, you know? When I was younger, I was in first grade when it really started being a problem. My first grade teacher told me, you'll never become a doctor with that handwriting. And yes, most doctors' handwriting is messy. So I'm not really sure what she was talking about. She was made one of like kids go to the bathroom and stuff like that. It was really just really dumb. Let me watch my language a little bit there, sorry. But there are little things that you can do to help. For me, it was a long time before someone finally caught it, and my mom was always worried, but all the teachers just assured her, oh, it's just a developmental delay. And once I went to public school, they were like, I think it's kind of more than that. And I went with this lady a few times, and we like cut paper and did Play-Doh and stuff like that. And so yeah, that was like the first time it was brought up to my mom that there was something wrong, and she kind of had a hard time. Parents have a hard time accepting this just because they feel like they did something wrong, or they didn't get them doing stuff at a certain time. It's not really a parent's fault. I mean, and if it is your fault, this is a problem now. You need to deal with it and let your kid know that you're there to support them. That is the most important thing through this whole process. The other thing is to get them started in occupational therapy, and you'll hear me refer to it as OT. They take them in there, work on their fine motor skills, help them learn how to use their fingers to feel and sense things the correct way. They also work on handwriting and things to do to aid the pain. Now, with this, with dysgraphia, I don't really like calling it a disability because it's just kind of a different way of thinking. With dysgraphia, earlier intervention is better, and they're actually pretty much finding that out with all learning issues, you know. So, definitely the earlier the better. I know it's hard when they're in kindergarten, first grade. You don't know what's just like their normal variant, and especially with boys, it's really hard to diagnose because men are just proven to have a little bit sloppier handwriting than women, just like in general. So boys are really hard to tell, and girls are a little easier because it's not normal for them to write messy all through high school and middle school, you know. At some point in elementary, it becomes very neat and like they start to write pretty. So yay for them. I'm just kidding. Some of the symptoms are cramping. I knew I had mentioned that earlier. As they're writing and they just feel fatigued and frustrated and they tell you it hurts, that's a sign. Let's see, spacing difficulties. This is one that I kind of forgot about because it just was how I wrote, you know. Some of their stuff may be really far apart or like ran all together and it looks like one sentence, one word, like it's kind of a mess. The other thing is inconsistency. So like I said, it could be close together or spaced apart really far the next time, or they could know how to use a lowercase d in a proper setting, or the next time they could do uppercase D the whole time because they're having trouble with lowercase d and b. I've mixed up M and W and N and U, and I've also mixed up, of course, the D and B. Like, I think everybody at some point in their childhood did that when they were first learning, you know? But just all those little things. B with P, like it just got flipped around and it was hard for me to express myself in writing. So another thing is poor spelling. I feel like that one's just kind of obvious. Their brain's having a hard time making this connection. The other thing they'll do on top of the misspelling is leaving out words, flipping them around, leaving out just random letters. Don't really know why it happens, but it definitely does. So some of the things you can do to help your kiddo out. First off, you need to talk to the school. Start getting them help. You want to definitely have their eyes checked because sometimes this can become a little difficult if they are having trouble seeing. So definitely check that out. Not all of these symptoms obviously check off just by sight, you know, so check into that. Giving them a thicker writing utensil though, like this pen I have here, can really help them relieve the pain of writing and fatigue. There's also a rubber grip. I have one around here somewhere, but I haven't finished going through all my office supplies type stuff, you know. So not exactly sure where it got to yet, but I know I saw it when I was sorting through like what went in my desk and dresser and shelf, you know. Anyways, it's really thick. You can get it at Hobby Lobby. It's in the art section. It's not like with the regular school grips where they're like those little tiny things. This is actually big, like 1.5 inches, I would say, and it's really thick. And this allows them to not only have the thicker grip, but also to have a place to put their fingers, which will in turn, and I can't talk, but this will help them with the way their handwriting looks, as well as the pain and fatigue in doing that, you know. So the other thing that you can do to help them out is see if the school will give them extra time on some assignments, or even let them use a computer. This kind of just takes off some of the stress of it, makes it a little bit easier. Or if in some cases, I know teachers and schools have resources to have somebody do things verbally with them. That is a lot easier for them to express themselves, you know, let you know what their real answer is, that kind of stuff. So as far as other accommodations would be allowing them to have a separate space from the other kids, because they're gonna have a little bit harder time. I even had a hard time with like the fill in the bubbles because I couldn't ever get it like just in those tiny bubbles. Like it was so frustrating. And allowing them to go into a separate room with somebody who's helping them with tiny things like that, or having a little bit extra time to take care of tiny things like that, really helps them. And then they're not self-conscious about the other kids knowing that they need extra help and all that, you know. It's just like they go off for a little bit, you know. And for me, once I got into high school, like it bothered me at first when people knew, but then it was just like, yeah, I don't care, it's just what it is. I actually started doing well in my classes. But anyways, you guys, let me know if you have dysgraphia. If someone you know, a friend or family member has dysgraphia, if you have any other questions, or if you've had a different experience with dysgraphia, let me know down below. Go ahead and subscribe for my DIY story, and where I talk about things like this that have happened to me, or just a disorder, ailment that I have. I just kind of talk about those and what I've done to kind of overcome them, and what I'm still struggling with, but tricks that have slowly helped me like learn to live with it. Anyways, you guys, thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Hopefully I'll get the camera working right to where we can do a mason jar. See you guys next time. Bye.